He goes after gay people, he goes after overweight women, and he goes after older women, and he did it on an air traffic control frequency that was broadcast. Sometimes we couldn't tell what they were doing for those hours. There's the TV to watch, plenty of chairs to sit in, and lots of dominoes to play, and then there's the pool table, all right underneath their boss's noses.
Call 6 investigator Stephen Dean is breaking the story tonight.
Local 2 investigative reporter Stephen Dean has the fallout.
Call 6 investigator Stephen Dean broke the story.
When you see your stories change laws at the State House or in the United States Congress, it's a great feeling.
Go, go, go. All units roll.
When our cameras emerged, we're doing a story on drone safety.
And I understand Washington's already taking action because of your reporting.
KPRC in Houston that broke this story.
I'm doing the story that someone out there doesn't want you to hear.
You're not napping for 4 hours while teachers are getting laid off. Those guns that were stolen were assigned to a convicted felon. It says map on your uniform. You're supposed to be helping motorists. You're in there playing around. Didn't you see the reports when we had it on the air? Everybody in the map unit saw the reports, and here you guys are doing it again.
I don't have any comment.
I can take something that's an emerging threat and expose it now and keep other people from being victims. He grabbed the undergarments and a swimsuit of a 7-year-old and a 10-year-old girl.
This sure seems like something that Child Protective Services could have prevented. We were out here because in this very apartment, a mother was arrested, charged with leaving her 5 kids alone. And when we knocked on the door, we found the youngest kids alone again. We were concerned about them, so we called police.
Tonight, another hidden camera report from Local 2 Investigates about workers who are paid to help you if your car breaks down on the freeway.
Right, but we found Metro Motorist Assistance Program workers spending hours on duty, shooting pool and playing other games. This is the same Metro detail that we exposed 5 months ago, with one worker shopping for porn and others sleeping under shade trees. Now, Local 2 investigator Stephen Dean live in downtown, where Metro's MAP drivers are in hot water yet again. Stephen.
Well, Dominique, the last time we exposed these workers goofing off on duty, Metro promised to take action. They promised to clamp down, but this time we found them goofing off right in a game room in their own headquarters, and now a criminal investigation is underway once again. You're paying for some serious games of pool. And you'd think this on-duty Metro Motorist Assistance worker would know better. Could be why, when he found out we were on to him, the chase was on. As he darted out the back door. It says map on your uniform. You're supposed to be helping motorists. You're in there playing around. Our hidden cameras found him sinking shots while hanging out for the final 3 hours of his shift, day after day. That's 3 hours of not helping a single stranded driver.
Unacceptable.
It sounds too familiar to Metro CEO George Grenius. He watched 5 months ago when we found his motorist assistance program workers sleeping under trees, cruising right by drivers in distress to go and goof off some more, including this guy who spent hours on duty in X-rated video stores, and now his MAP patrols are dodging their duty again.
The fact that some employees, based on your news report at least, seem to feel that on-duty time is to be spent recreating, when in fact that is not the case, is extremely troubling.
Grenius says his MAP workers should be turning in paperwork here each night at 7, then going back out to help people. But that's not what we found. The trucks start arriving after 6, still during the middle of rush hour, and we found them sitting and talking out on a bench or in their supervisor's office since he's gone for the day. So I want to know why you're spending so much time right here.
I don't really have an answer for you.
Didn't you see the reports when we had it on the air? Everybody in the MAP unit saw the reports, and here you guys are doing it again.
I don't have any comment.
For other guys, the game room inside this busy Metro office building was the main attraction each night. Sometimes we couldn't tell what they were doing for those hours. There's the TV to watch, plenty of chairs to sit in, and lots of dominoes to play. And then there's the pool table, all right underneath their boss's noses. Look, here's a 90-minute-long dominoes match. Seemed like quite a contest as you were paying them to protect others, but outside he wasn't bragging about it. Some of you are arriving right after 6 and you're sitting in this room and just chilling, kicking back. Are you telling me that's your job?
Close the lane today, sir. We got 2 jobs to do.
He claims his only job after turning in his daily report is to close down an HOV lane across town, and another map worker said the same. So your job's to sit here in this office and talk?
Well, I mean, that's the way we do it. We close the lane at 8 o'clock, and 9 o'clock you go back home.
Metro CEO insists action was taken after our last report, but not enough, and he promises to fix it this time.
There will be serious consequences. I'm not going to tolerate, Metro's not going to tolerate folks who simply will not get with the program.
Now, the CEO says supervisors could be in trouble if they encouraged or they knew that all those workers were spending hours here every single day. Now, Metro Police are going over their records to see what they claim they were doing when we found them here. We're live downtown. Stephen Dean, KPRC Local 2.
Nicely done, Stephen. In the meantime, Metro Police say prosecutors are considering criminal charges of falsifying government records from our hidden camera report back in October. Police say workers logged entries for stranded motorists who were never actually helped. One worker resigned during that investigation.
Well, the FAA has not approved a single drone flight for business purposes anywhere in the country because the agency's still unsure how to keep from endangering other aircraft. But and beyond, the internet is crawling with them, and we pushed for the release of new FAA records that show the agency struggling to keep up with this growing danger above us all.
How far you say it was?
He doesn't know. Our hidden cameras are all around him.
There might be a parking lot or something behind.
In businesses on the east side without any approval from the agency that keeps our skies safe.
If I'm as high as that power line right there.
Anyone can log online and find all sorts of drones for hire, several offering to fly in Indiana if you want aerial photography of real Spencer and his company Drone Photo Services of Louisville, and in no time at all, he fired it up. Hobbyists are allowed to fly model aircraft up to 400 feet without any permits. 60, 300. But the FAA says anytime somebody to fly a drone like they did here, you can open that and count it if you'd like. That makes it a business flight, so it's illegal for them to fly it. Spencer told us he's flown hundreds of flights just like this, sometimes above 1,000, are often flying with pilots and their families.
Oh, it concerns me greatly. This is an accident waiting to happen.
Indy pilot Roger Tomey says it's highly upsetting that the Call 6 investigators found so many drones for hire, even though FAA hasn't allowed a single one of them.
We end up causing a very serious situation that could cost somebody their life.
And even though regulations could be years away to keep the skies safe, drones are for sale all over the internet, and countless websites showcase video that was shot from drones. If FAA can't prove shots like these, we found drone operators are avoiding getting into trouble. They can just keep on flying. Call 6 investigators, and they show FAA struggling to stay ahead of it all. After complaints from pilots and others, or the FAA discovering drones for hire online, 23 investigations were launched nationwide. In many, the drone operators were never found, but 10 drone operators were tracked down, getting legal. 5 unauthorized drones were spotted, sometimes way too close to even airliners. In March, an Alitalia jet made national news.
What did you say? We saw a drone aircraft.
When its pilot reported a drone in the landing pattern at New York's JFK Airport.
When they suck one of those drones into an engine of an airplane, then it'll get everybody's attention, and I'm thinking at that point.
Retired Continental Airlines pilot Tom Jeffries now runs a flight school in Greenwood, and he's worried the next time he's in the cockpit, one of these drones for hire could be hidden in the clouds.
They're not going to appear on radar. You're never going to see them until they...
Pilots we spoke to had no idea that so many drones have caught the FAA's attention before a single business drone flight has ever been approved. Congress ordered FAA to come up with regulations for commercial drone flights next year, but for the drone we hired and others, there's no waiting. It's by Spencer and Drone Photo Services.
Go, go, go. All units roll.
When our cameras emerged, we're doing a story on drone safety. We told him that FAA calls flights like his illegal. He said he had no idea.
Hardly ever read.
Is it?
So, yeah.
So you're not trying to break the law?
No, I'm not trying to.
I hope the FAA gets involved in this and we get this stopped. This is a dangerous situation.
Now, the FAA would not answer our questions about how they're enforcing this law. In a written statement, the agency says it thoroughly investigates violations, and even without proof, they say they try to make illegal drone operators understand that all of those flights are illegal.
Oh, very revealing. I know Facebook has been on fire with this, and I understand Washington's already taking action because of your reporting.
Already, Congressman Andre Carson, he told us he's taking what we found to the aviation subcommittee where he serves. He says, push the FAA to enforce the law to protect all of us in the air and on the ground. So we're going to be watching as the number of these drones just keeps on climbing.
Now, breaking news from RTV6.
That breaking news tonight from the city's south side. One man is dead and another is clinging to life.
Police say that one man shot another who was in a wheelchair before turning the gun on himself. RTV6 reporter Stephen Dean is live on the scene with more details, including notes found at the scene indicating there was something more that led to the shooting. Stephen.
This all unfolded in a very busy shopping center parking lot. There's a Kroger over my left shoulder. There's a McDonald's. There's every kind of restaurant you can imagine, and lots of cars streaming through here. And this is the spot that apparently two older men decided they would end things together, according to police. Police handling this as a murder attempted suicide at this point, right here at Madison Avenue and East Edgewood on the south side of Indianapolis. Police say the men circled the lot before 3 p.m. The driver of the minivan pulled in. He methodically removed his friend from the passenger seat of the car, sets him upright in a wheelchair, then shoots him twice in the head, killing him. The shooter then turned the gun on himself, but he was still alive when medics arrived. He shot himself in the face, apparently. Medics rushed him to the hospital. He is listed in critical condition at this hour. Police are not sure whether he is going to survive. Officer Chris Wilburn says the men apparently left behind several suicide notes, leaving clues about what the men were thinking.
I've been told that the individual left behind notes to the effect of the pain and suffering they wanted to end, and they wanted to do it in a very public place. So here we are.
Police describing both men as older, but they don't know the ages. The man who died here in his wheelchair is wearing a light jacket, sweatpants, black shoes. He kind of looks like he dressed for just any day out running errands, but in reality, police say both men apparently wanted to end it here very publicly and right out in the open. And again, what happened? They circled the lot, found this spot. One man brought his friend out, loaded him into the wheelchair, killed him, then turned the gun on himself. Police say they don't know what medical problems or disabilities are included in that note that was left behind. They're looking over that now as they scour this area for clues. We're live on the south side. Stephen Dean, RTV6.
What a tragic, tragic story. Stephen, thank you.